Hey guys, and welcome to this Afterbuild review. The first that I will ever make on this channel. And today we are going to look at what this border model's Panzer IV Aus G mid or late production 2-in-1 kit turns into if you spend about 3 days gluing together pieces of plastic. Before we go into detail and before I show you what this turns out to look like once it's put together, which I will do in a second, let me quickly just tell you about the kit in general. I bought this roughly a year ago. Like, this was the first batch of these that came out, which came out with the metal gun barrel, the paint masks, extra decals, and just a couple of things that you don't get with the normal kits that probably are on the market right now, like turned aluminum smoke dischargers and stuff like this. And this kit was about 35-ish euros when it came out, and I think it's still the same price when you want to source this from a retailer nowadays. So this is still a rather cheap kit. There are a couple of issues with this kit, but nothing major, and I will go over this in just a second. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up on this kit. I would of course recommend buying this, and I will just now show you why exactly I'm saying this. Alright, here we go. This is the completed border model's Panzer IV Aus G. And I went with the late production model, as you can see from the bolted on extra armor in the front of the vehicle. As you can see, we have this powdered metal gun barrel, some PE parts for the spare tracks. In the front here we have the turned aluminum smoke dischargers. We have metal side skirts. We have a Lincoln length track, which I will be talking about in just a second. I added this stowage. This is not in the kit, but you get this beautiful copper towing cable, 2 of them actually. More side skirts. And overall, I have to say that the quality of this kit is quite high. Let me zoom in for you here so you guys can see a bit more. I really like the quality that you get. There are a couple of issues though. One issue is the cupola. As you can see, it tells you to put the latches that allow you to open the cupola from the inside, and they wanted me to glue them outside. And I put them on just so you guys can see that that's a big doo-doo. There are no latches outside on the cupola. Another thing that I thought was kind of weird and I felt was kind of off was the Lincoln length tracks. While I'm a big fan of Lincoln length tracks, the ones that came with this kit were flashy, the detail was soft in some areas, and I was just not impressed at all. Which is why I decided to use a set of magic tracks that I still had lying around, and which is why this now has magic tracks on it. I'll zoom in even more so you guys can see some of the nice surface detail on this Panzer IV here. It does allow you to build the turret hatches open, as you can see. I left the loader's hatch open, and this outer hatch here can still be removed for easier access for painting. The side skirts are also not glued in place, and neither are the tracks. One other thing that I was quite, let's say, what's the correct word here, quite confused with, was the fact that some of the tools were a bit weirdly shaped and oddly shaped. And there were a couple of issues with the instruction sheet. For example, the bearing cleaning rods that you can see here on the side of the engine deck are mislabeled in the instruction. They tell you to use a different piece, and there's some mess up there, so it's wonky. Fit issues I did not come across. The fit was really snug. There wasn't that much of a problem with it. The one thing that I say would bother me a bit is the fact that the road wheels have absolutely no friction fit. They sit on the bogies and they sit on the wheel hubs very loosely. So if you try to put on a link and length track, or with this, a single link track, without gluing the road wheels onto the vehicle first, it's going to be quite the task. They keep falling off frequently. So I'm quite glad right now that they are sitting rather snug, because the track basically holds them down. The side skirts are very nicely done. The thickness of the metal plates is nice. They are rather sturdy compared to Dragon ones. Dragon ones are easily bent. These ones are a bit more rigid, and the metal is a bit tougher. So that's not that much of a problem. The turret interior is very Spartanic. You get a gun breech, and that's basically it. There are no seats, no radio, no nothing. This is a basic kit without an interior. The one thing that I was a bit sad about, Dragon always offer you, especially with their earlier kits, some nice metal chain for the towing eyelets, and they didn't do this on this kit. So the towing eyelets, I need to upgrade them with some aftermarket, I guess. Other than that, like I said, there's nothing I can say bad about this kit. This is just a great kit, and I will be building a Dragon kit next, because this is going on a diorama with 2 Panzer IVs in Russia, driving through a field, being accompanied by some infantry. And then I will compare the Border Models Panzer IV to the Dragon Panzer IV, and I will be putting them next to each other, and then you can see whether or not there are actual differences. And I can then tell you if there are differences and what those differences are. Overall, I'm very impressed with this. It's a very nice kit. The fit, perfectly fine. Dimensions look to be good to me. I love the fact that the bow machine gun is slight molded barrel, so it has a hollow barrel, muzzle brake. So that's great. The only major boo-boo is the turret hatch, and I'll try and see if I can show you guys from the top what I'm talking about. Those latches should be inside the turret hatch, and they tell you to put them outside. And I can still take this off, and as you can see, there are no spots where to put them, but the spots to put them were outside. So yeah, that's the only thing where I'm like, no. So I can fix this, but since I wanted to portray this open with the commander sticking his head out, that was quite annoying. So yes, but I think I will be able to fix this. So overall, I think this still gets an 8 out of 10. The only major downgrade is this turret hatch. Other than that, and the one mislabel here, I can't fault this kit at all. And I talked to Sebastian Schoaf, Dutch Modeling, who built the same kit, and he had some major issues with the instruction sheet, and I just didn't come across them. Maybe it's the fact that, and he had some issues with the gun assembly, but I just think that maybe it's because he hasn't built that many Panzer IVs, that he was a bit confused at some points in the instruction. And Panzer IVs can be tricky to build, so don't get me wrong here, I'm not sliding him in the slightest. You can also give his kit review before he built it a look if you want to see more about this. But I just did not come across major issues. So 8 out of 10. I'm looking forward to painting this. But before I can paint it, I will be building the Dragon Panzer 4H by this side, and then I can compare and contrast the two kits before and after painting. So until then, thanks for watching. I hope you like this Afterbuild review, and I'll see you soon. May the force be with you. Bye for now.